A fantasy matchup that seemed impossible a year ago and improbable 2 months ago. It's moments away from reality. Two former world champions, one seeking revenge, the other redemption.
This is an Old Testament kind of fight because raw emotion motivates both men. Revenge or redemption? Whose fire burns the hottest? In one corner, Patricio Pitbull fights for revenge.
His brother getting knocked out right in front of him.
World championship. Huge right by Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler might as well have jumped him in the parking lot of 7-Eleven.
I love my brother. I finish Henderson, I get Chandler. I'm gonna beat that motherfucker down.
This fight is over! Oh my God! Pitbull turns off his lights with one shot.
While the man in the other corner, superstar Benson Henderson, fights for redemption.
That fight against Koreshkov was definitely a tough one for me. You need those sometimes in life.
Oh my God! What a shot!
And there is Ben Henderson. After taking Andrei Koreshkov's best.
I don't like losing. I want to get back in there right away.
He has to right the ship.
I hold myself to the highest of expectations. I hold myself to high standards.
He has to show that Patricio Pitbull never should have left the featherweight division to come up and challenge him.
Henderson, I will be your reckoning.
I would expect Patricio Pitbull to walk forward and claim the center of that cage. Bellator is his home. That's where he's been a champion. He's going to want to mark his territory and make Benson Henderson come to him and take it back.
I am speed and I am power. I will not be denied.
But this is another level.
When you break somebody's will, it's a thing of beauty. So this fight against Pitbull, I want to show the Bellator lightweight class that, you know, I'm here and I'm taking what's mine.
And now, ready to make his way to the cage, Patricio Pitbull.
As we've chronicled the Pitbull brothers over the years, imagine, if you will, the task of Marlusa Friede. It's her job was not only raising her sons, Patricio and Patricio, protecting them, a job that once involved shooting a prison escapee invading their home, but it was her job, her thankless and impossible job, to separate them when they fought, which they did, over and over and over. A sibling rivalry so intense, at one time these two didn't speak for 2 years, but it's forged a bond in adulthood that needs no words. Patricio Pitbull has made Michael Chandler his pursuit, but the road to avenge his brother becomes his biggest challenge. As Jimmy, a Chandler fight would be an opportunity for revenge. A fight with Benson Henderson is simply a huge career opportunity.
Yeah, the emotions he showed when confronting Michael Chandler, he can't bring them into this fight. You know, that's for Michael Chandler. He has to fight a more tactical fight, I think, against a guy who's great with range, great with his feet. The strategy's always been, when you get hurt, hurt him back. You get killed, walk it off. Pitbull will go right through anybody he has to. Does he have the versatility for this fight? That would be my question.
He steps into his second home, the Bellator cage, as the all-time winningest fighter in Bellator history.
Ready now to make his way to the cage, smooth Benson Benson.
It has become one of the most familiar walkouts in all of MMA. Ben Henderson to Awesome God. But you may not know, the song was written and released first by Rich Mullins, the biggest hit of the Christian singer-songwriter who died tragically 20 years ago. But the song was given a second life in Christian hip-hop by R. Swift in 2009. Now, Ben Henderson's second professional life began inauspiciously in April, a shutdown, shutout loss handed to him by the dominant welterweight world champion Andre Koreshkov. But Jimmy, he is so much more comfortable now with his new home in Bellator, and maybe more importantly tonight, his old home, both at 155 and in the main event with everybody watching.
Well, he gets to be the bigger fighter this time around. He wasn't against Andre Koreshkov. He had trouble with size. He had trouble with the range. He had trouble with the power differential. Those are all advantages he has now, and he wants to be the bully this time around. Is that how you see it?
That is, I think that is the tale of the tape. The keys to victory for Benson. Use your range, use your size. He's the bigger fighter. I think he's the more experienced fighter. He's been in the big fights. Like you alluded to earlier, Patricio is a little bit emotional, so we'll see if that Henderson.
The voice of the lightweight world champion Michael Chandler, the title that Ben Henderson has his eyes on. He has held the title in the WEC. He has held the lightweight title in the UFC. He's one win away tonight from challenging for it here in Bellator. The tail of the tape in the main event, brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports.
Like the champ just said, the height advantage, the weight advantage, the reach advantage, every physical category, Benson Henderson has an advantage. One deficit, had a tough time with the weight cut.
Absolutely. And you can never count out Patricio. He's a tough dude.
The fantasy matchup has become a super fight. It's real, it's now. Here's Michael C.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Spike, Bellator MMA presented by Miller Lite from the Honda Center with the title shot on the line. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Carvelli Chair. Executive Officer is Andy Foster. Tonight's main event is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. And now, introducing the blue corner first. At 5'5", he weighed in 155.4 pounds tonight, making the move up to lightweight. The former Bellator featherweight world champion stands with 25 professional victories, just 3 defeats. From Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, presenting Patricio, Pitbull. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'9", weighing in 156 pounds even. The 2-time former lightweight world champion tonight returns to the division, bringing 23 professional victories, 6 defeats. Fighting out of Glendale, Arizona, introducing Smooth Benson Henderson. The bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Big John McCarthy.
One of the rules in the back, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck to both of you.
The 5th time Ben Henderson has been refereed by John McCarthy, the 6th for Patricio Pitbull. You saw the pelts on the wall that man already owns. Patricio Pitbull looking to score the biggest win of his career. And away we go, the fight clock in the main event, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time.
One of Pitbull's advantages, they call him Paraíba, the state he's from, big heads, they can take a shot. He's had an amazing chin so far, but Benson Henderson against Koreshkov ate some monster shots and stayed in that fight.
Absolutely, and right away you see Benson taking the center of the cage, which I think was his biggest mistake last time against Koreshkov. On that back foot, you cannot attack.
The contrast in the 2 opponents for Ben Henderson to start his Bellator career, it is stunning when you look at the 2. Think about Koreshkov and think about how much smaller Pitbull is.
But I'm a little surprised, to your point, Champ, that he doesn't kind of make Pitbull come to him, use that reach advantage. Doesn't want to walk into the big shot. That's Pitbull's equalizer.
Absolutely, and I'd say that's one of the biggest things Benson's been successful at, is letting a guy fight himself out of the fight. Let a guy wear himself out so much, try for takedowns, try for the grappling, swing power punches, wear himself out, and then Benson capitalizes.
One other thing, guys, to keep in mind, Ben Henderson, 11 of his last 12 fights, 5-round fights. He has to get started faster.
Two ways to look at that. He's got to start fast, and man, he's got an endless gas tank. Only 3 rounds in this fight. 5-rounders, he looks good.
He does, and a lot of times, because I've studied him for years. Back when he was champ of the UFC, I was champion here. Everybody talked about us fighting. I thought him and I might cross roads eventually. You watch him fight, it almost looks, when a guy gets in on a leg, he almost looks bored. He almost looks like he is controlling his heartbeat. He's controlling his heart rate and keeping that gas tank where it needs to be.
His pacing is great.
Absolutely.
They're now showing a lot of respect for the power of Pitbull. And that I thought we'd see a lot of leg kicks, a lot of teeps. Pitbull's just waiting for him to come in. I was a little surprised when he got Ben Henderson off his feet. He didn't pounce on him. Let him get back up. He has confidence in that right hand. I was studying for this fight, getting ready for it. I was thinking, what fight was kind of like Ben Henderson, who kind of had that build. The closer you get with Pat Curran, tall, big for the weight class. What Pat Curran did is he made it basically a boxing match. Never kicked, wasn't quite busy enough to get Pitbull off his game.
Absolutely.
And ask Ben Henderson if he has been in there with somebody the physical size of Patricio Pitbull. He came up blank.
Couldn't remember anybody.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy who's fighting at 170, has fought some of the biggest guys in the world at 155, and now he's fighting arguably not the largest featherweight that we've seen. So it, like Sean said, the contrast between Koreshkov and Patricio is stunning.
The only guy I can think of, maybe Frankie Edgar, who is more 45 size, but stylistically totally different.
Absolutely.
That's a weapon Pitbull. I think when he uses, he's successful. A leg kick, he has very heavy legs. Doesn't use it that much, but using it just enough now.
That's why the matchup was so intriguing, and nobody can really put their finger on it. Nobody seemed to have a great feel for how this fight would go, because it was a fight nobody could really imagine.
I'm really surprised right now. Ben Henderson not throwing a lot of jabs, not throwing the lead kick a lot. He's a taller guy, not really using it. Looks like he's trying to set up a power shot.
He does. Yeah, I mean,
that's Pitbull's wheelhouse.
Yeah, when you let Pitbull set his feet, when you let him get that rhythm, that in and out rhythm, you have to start disrupting that rhythm, like you talked about, that front kick, that front teep kick. Use that range, keep him off of that square stance where he is right now. He's got that right hand cocked and ready.
Talked about Sean, Ben Henderson maybe starting a little too slow. He started very slow in this first round. Pitbull more active, and he's usually not a very busy puncher.
Yep. But there you go. There you see Ben walking him down, which I did not expect. Even though he is the smaller fighter, I think that's been one of his tendencies, which becomes a habit, is Ben Henderson likes to be almost with his butt up against the cage.
Likes to bait you to come in, dare you to come in.
In my opinion, I think he's implemented the best game plan that he can, unless he runs into that right hand. He's got to be a bully, but you can't run into a Pitbull right hand.
Ben Henderson, who looked us in the eye and told us it doesn't matter who I do what I do. It doesn't matter who the opponent is, but the first round hasn't played out that way.
And the thing is that Pitbull, usually a very aggressive guy, like you said, a very emotional guy, very, very controlled right now. I think he's fought a good fight.
He is.
Smart fight.
It's a little refreshing to see.
Interesting round one.
Aquí para mí.
Everything you try to do is counter on your step. Let's grab and go home. Give me the essence, right?
We'll talk about it on air. How we saw different.
Pull the trigger.
That's all we need.
Pull the trigger a little bit, okay?
That's all we need.
Keep moving your head.
Go home, essence.
Got him. Ryder, you good? Hey, let's get going.
Yet, as that round number 1 was, we were both surprised by the way, all of us surprised by how Ben Henderson approached him.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it 10-9. Pitbull, he was the one throwing the punches. He was the one throwing the right hand, waiting for Ben Henderson to come forward, but he was one throwing leg kicks and punches. You saw it differently, champ. Tell me why.
Yeah, definitely a toss-up round, but I do think Benson obviously controlled the cage more, but I will agree, Patricio is throwing more punches, so it's a tough round.
Yeah, Benson's certainly controlling the real estate. He's the aggressor.
Absolutely.
Crowd getting on him. If you would have told me coming into this fight that Ben Henderson would have a problem being active, I wouldn't have believed it.
Absolutely.
He's a guy who tends to out-volume guys, to outwork them, to out-hustle them. So far, he's controlling the real estate, but not throwing punches, not even going for a takedown.
Yep. You use that word hustle. I'd say he's built a career off of just hustling.
Yeah.
And out-hustling guys, and hustling at the right times, letting guys wear themselves out when he wants to wear them out, and hustling whenever he wants to break guys.
Could that be what he's doing? Maybe starting slow, getting Pitbull to maybe a little overconfident, throw a little bit more to turn it on later.
I think it is possible, because you got to remember he does have that size advantage, that reach advantage, that range advantage in his back pocket. He's controlling the fight with his size and putting Pitbull up against the cage. Or his butt up against the cage, controlling that center of the cage.
And remember, it was off the cage where Patricio knocked out Daniel Weiser.
It was.
Pitbull was always throwing that right hand. I'm really surprised Benson Henderson isn't using his lead tools, lead jab, lead foot a little bit more.
Patricio turned that miss into a takedown. The most underappreciated element for both of these guys is the ground game of Patricio Pitbull.
He's going for the Kimura, trying to lock it up.
When you've knocked as many people out as Patricio has, you aren't known as that BJJ black belt. People almost forget about it, but he's got it.
Man, he's going hard for this Kimura.
And this is where that size advantage comes in, too. He can crank on that.
And got that leg all the way. Good left hand by Pitbull.
Oh,
what the heck happened?
Wow.
He pulled something.
John McCarthy's waved it off.
Whoa.
Popped something in his knee. His knee went out on him. Man.
In a fight we never thought we'd see, an ending we could not have expected.
He broke that key.
Man, something really went wrong with the knee there. Man, that's disappointing.
Was it his plant leg? Well, I guess we'll have to see there.
Yeah, they'll give us a replay and we can check it out, but when a guy like Pitbull turns away and says, I'm done.
Oh, it might be his foot.
Patricio Pitbull, who has never been stopped, stops the fight himself.
Let's see if we can see it here.
On the Black Card Premium Spice Rum replay, the bold 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
It's slipping.
He's defending the Kimura.
He broke his foot.
Tell him to fight with one finger.
I think already, if you look at his right foot.
Yeah, his right foot's turned like something happened to it. And once you turn away, that's physical surrender. It's a good stoppage by John McCarthy. His right foot is turned out right here like something's wrong, but I couldn't see when it happened.
Guys, I think, remember in the first round, Ben Henderson hit him with a kick near that knee.
Only when I put my big weight. Only when he puts his weight. I wouldn't do that. Right.
No, it's the ankle.
Patricio Pitbull, for the first time in his professional career, is stopped, and he is the one that stops him. Ben Henderson gets his first win in Bellator. He is now the #1 contender for Michael Chandler and the lightweight world title. But in a fight we never thought we'd see, an ending we could not possibly have predicted as Patricio Pitbull walks away after doing damage somewhere between that right knee and right ankle. For the moment, before we dig in a little more, let's make the decision official.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a result of a kick thrown by Patricio, the injury to the leg renders him unable to continue the contest. Therefore, official time, 2 minutes, 26 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO Smooth, Benson Henderson.
Certainly not the way he expected it, certainly not the way he wanted it.
I'm here with your winner, Benson Henderson. I know that wasn't the finish you wanted, disappointing ending, but I've just been told November 19th, you'll be facing Michael Chandler for the lightweight belt. That's what you wanted, that's why you came in here.
Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people around you don't feel insecure. We were all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that's within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others.
Did you know what happened at the end? Was there any indication he was hurt? I'm cage-side, I got a replay, I couldn't see it. Do you have any idea what happened?
I knew for sure when I checked 2 of his kicks, both of his if you watch the replay, when I checked, he backed away right away immediately. We work on checking kicks after the Anderson Silva whole thing, you know, like that was kind of popular. Everyone was working on checking kicks, so I definitely worked on checking kicks. I didn't think I'd ever end a fight by checking a kick, but I guess I'll take a W anywhere I can get it.
Now the champ, Michael Chandler, is here right now. You saw the fight. You're taking this man on November 19th. What'd you think?
I'm excited, man. He's a tough dude. I've been looking forward to fighting him for a really long time. People have been talking about this matchup for a long time, so let's do it. Let's put on a show for the Bellator fans. Appreciate you guys.
November 19th for the lightweight title, Michael Chandler versus Benson Henderson. Give it up for him.
In November in San Jose, another dream matchup will be for the lightweight world title between Michael Chandler and Benson Henderson. He goes back to check on Patricio Pitbull one more time. This is what we were talking about. I talked about a kick in the first round that Patricio threw. And at the time, and Ben Henderson just mentioned it, he planted. There wasn't a lot of contact there, but did he plant wrong? And you see him back away, despite very little contact. Was that the moment? Obviously, as time goes by, we'll find out more. Patricio Pitbull, from that point on, went another 3 or 4 minutes with Ben Henderson. And after that sequence up along the fence in round 2, when Ben Henderson was hunting for the Kimura, Patricio Pitbull seemed to plant awkwardly, and maybe that pushed him over the edge. So a disappointing night on every level for Patricio Pitbull, but Ben Henderson gets his first win inside the Bellator cage, and he gets the world title shot that he wanted to try to complete that lightweight title triple crown on November in San Jose against Michael Chandler.